In this video, I want to talk about why I decided to take a step back from the food delivery and shopping apps. So this is not just DoorDash, this is Grubhub, UBEREATS, INSTACART, the whole shebang. Why I decided to take a step back from those apps. My decision happened a year ago when I decided to take a step back for many reasons. Beyond just the usual reasons, oversaturation, bad market, etc., etc. There's a lot of reasons and I want to explore that. This video is going to be more about my story and why I decided not to continue to do the apps as often as I used to. Back in 2020, I was fired right before the pandemic. When I was fired, I thought, hey, no problem. I'm going to work on my own. I'm going to figure something out. I'm going to try some other businesses. I was going to do some freelancing for small businesses in my area. I had some ideas on marketing and promotion, especially with the internet, doing stuff like that. I had an idea of what I wanted to pursue. Rona happened and that changed everything, shut everything down. Even my small dog walking business on the side, everything shut down, couldn't do a damn thing. So that's when I decided to do UberEats. I decided, hey, I got a car, let me go and apply. I was able to make some money doing that. And that was back in 2020. In July, I decided to do UberEats. I remember the first night that I was approved at 12:30 in the morning. I looked at my app, it said, you are able to Uber. And I was so bored in my house doing absolutely nothing. I decided to go out there, turn on and go out midnight, picking up god awful orders I shouldn't have picked up, making probably little to no money. But that was before I went on YouTube to research, before I found this community. So throughout the months, I decided to go on YouTube, figure out how to do this properly, the food delivery shopping apps. Then I decided to make my own videos. I decided I was still under lockdown. I would say, hey, I wanted to make some videos, and this is how I started my YouTube channel. I took a lot of stuff that was laying around my house and I sold it to buy my first camera. Little by little, I was working at UberEats, making videos, and that was my existence for about a year. But fast forward to 2021, a lot of restrictions got scaled back and my dog walking business blew up from then. So from then on, my dog walking became the main hustle to a point where I did not need to worry about getting a W-2. I was able to do that with the apps and move on. And I realized that I don't like to work for anyone else. I like to work for myself. I love it. I love getting up on my own. I love the idea that it's all on me. There isn't someone else to blame if something goes wrong. It's all about me. Self-accountability, realizing when you make a mistake, can't really blame it on anyone else. I love the idea of being an independent contractor, entrepreneur, whatever you want to call it. I love this life. So I'm here for the long haul. But I started to realize, especially as my other business kind of moved up, that I could still do this and DoorDash if I want, but I decided to scale back with the food delivery apps, scale back with the shopping apps to a point now where I don't do them very often. I may do them once or twice a week. We're gonna break down some of the reasons why I decided to scale back from the food and shopping delivery apps. Obviously, the saturated market. A lot of people are on it. Takes longer to get better offers. You're outside a little longer. Not the biggest reason why I decided not to do it, because I'm in New York City, I'm in Brooklyn. If you work hard enough and you stay outside long enough, you can make a full-time living here. Now, it's going to take a lot of effort. There's a lot of people doing the same thing that you're doing, but the market is strong. If you just stay outside and you're willing to work in the rain and the snow, or you willing to work in times where people don't want to do it, you can still make money, especially in the weekend, especially for dinner. That's how I was able to do full-time with DoorDash. One of the many reasons I decided to scale back, I wanted to preserve my car. I have fully paid for my vehicles. I have one my wife drives and one that I drive, fully paid for, and I wanted to preserve my condition of my car. They're not new cars. One is over 10 years old. The other one's about, I think about 6. And I did not want to continue to drive my car into the ground because doing this gig work, I had to pay a lot of money on car fees. I had to replace my transmission in one of my cars. As inflation is going up, the idea of buying a new car is something that I do not want to do. I do not want to buy a new car or a used car at all. I rather keep the car and only drive when I absolutely need to, or only work when the money is good enough for me to do this. Another reason why I decided to scale back is the lack of trust with these apps, the lack of trust with what is going on. And I think a lot of people have the same idea. And put in the comments below if you agree with this. We already know the history with DoorDash and UberEats and all these companies finding ways to manipulate you, finding ways to hide the tips, make it into some kind of game, some kind of whack-a-mole game where you could find the tips. A lot of games being played, and it doesn't seem like it's going to get any better. And if I want to make a full-time income, I do not want to play games. I'm not interested in playing games to find money. I want to do a job or do a service and get paid appropriately. So the games that are continuing to be played is something that I'm not interested in doing if I'm looking for a full-time work. And obviously I do not want to depend on tips to pay my bills, because that's what food delivery and shopping delivery is. We're waiting for the best tips to make the job worth taking. And I'm not comfortable doing that long term, depending on the generosity of people to pay my bills. It's just something I'm not very comfortable with. Compared to other apps, compared to Rover, for instance, or compared to any kind of service that you're doing with gig work, I appreciate doing dog walking because I see the same clients every day. There's a trust that is built to a point where they trust me to be in their homes. They'll text me Merry Christmas. Sometimes they'll give me gifts. It's basically like an extended family because you're taking care of their family member. And it's just a better relationship as a freelancer, as an independent contractor, when you know the person you're serving. You see their face, you talk to them on the phone, there's a text. There's more involved than any kind of gig work where you're able to work directly with the person you're working for, and that client, you talk to them, you communicate with them, whether you're doing video editing or you're walking their dog or even personal shopping. If you're able to communicate directly to their client without the middleman involved, it's a better experience overall for both parties. I found my love making videos on YouTube, doing podcasts, recording. I love doing it. And one of the things about really diving into YouTube is you have to be obsessed with YouTube. You have to spend a lot of time looking up how to edit videos. And the problem is when you're doing food delivery and shopping apps, you're outside for hours and hours to make decent money. And I realized that I'm going to have to sacrifice making less money in the short term to learn how to create a video, how to edit videos, how to create stories, how to do this properly, because I'm still a newbie at this. I'm still a person who don't have a lot of experience, and I need to put in at least my 10,000 hours. As Malcolm Gladwell says, you need 10,000 hours to master a skill. In the short term, I'm probably losing money because I could be outside right now, but I'm talking to you guys because I feel like this is more important to me rather than picking up, extra $50, $60 doing some food delivery stuff. I realized that the future is not in this food delivery stuff. It's not in working for Doordash, working for Grubhub, working for UBEREATS. The future is not in that realm for me personally. Doordash was never my future. UBEREATS was never the future. It was always, this is a really easy way to make money. This is perfect for right now, but I never thought I was going to do this multiple years in the future. I thought I'll probably do this until something picks up. So my dog walking business picked up. Doing stuff on YouTube picked up. So I'm going to make that sacrifice. I go outside and DoorDash, but I rather focus on this skill set, creating videos, because I think this would be a better idea for the long term. This is a long play that I'm doing compared to the short term play is go outside for 8 hours a day to make some decent money on DoorDash. And the last reason that I decided to take a step back is because there's so much uncertainty in the gig economy pertaining food and shopping apps. The government is involved, the companies, some are here today, gone tomorrow. Algorithm, they're changing things. 1 minute, they'll pause you if you decline too many orders. It could be there's so many different things happening that I do not trust that enough to make this a full-time income. Only be a side hustle. Basically a mistress, someone you mess with on the side every couple of days. The men in relationships who are watching this definitely know what I'm talking about, right? I'm kidding. These companies will continue to try to find ways to control us, to make us be as much of an employee as possible. And it's just something I'm not interested in playing ball with. So what is my advice for you in terms of working with these companies, doing the food and delivery apps? What you should do? Well, you may have to make a sacrifice. If there's something else that you want to do, you want to pursue, whether learning a valuable skill, a real skill set. If you learn a valuable skill, you may have to take time off for food delivery to learn that skill. You want to find a skill that people are willing to pay you for, that even if these apps died, even if all these apps are gone the next day, that you can still find someone that's willing to pay you. It looks like it's going to be more regulation. Inflation is high everywhere. So there's a lot of uncertainty in the gig economy in terms of the food and shopping apps, because the gig economy is a huge of all types of skills. But I think in terms of the most basic entry-level skills, it's going to be always a problem from here to the time it stops. There's going to be more and more problems. And I think it's probably a good idea to get out early and only use these apps as basically your side bitch. These are good side bitches. DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats. They'll take care of you sometimes, but sometimes they will try to call your main bitch up and try to get you in trouble. Again, I'm kidding. I just wanted to be transparent with you guys. And if you have made it this far and you're interested in seeing more content that's gonna be a little different than the DoorDash, Uber Eats stuff, like I still will cover it, but it won't be as much considering I just don't do it enough to cover it. Hit the notification bell. Obviously, hopefully you subscribe, but hit the notification bell. I'm gonna still be talking about money, still talking about entrepreneurship, but it's gonna be a little bit more broader topics. And I understand the algorithm. It's really hard to find the videos if you don't hit the notification bell. So hit that bell.
And thank you for taking the time to watch this video. And I'll see you guys in the next video.